So anyway, I keep hearing that the Angel Reese, Asia Wilson supporters they are the ones with the motion. They're moving the needle.
Let's talk about delusion for a second, because if you've been anywhere near social media, you've probably heard it. Angel rethinks she's just as much of a draw as Caitlin Clark. That's the claim, rightly according to her most loyal fans, and herself is the reason everyone's suddenly watching women's basketball.
Angel Reese is now quoted as saying, "I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person." She refuses to say Caitlin Clark's name. "It's because of me too, and I want you to realize."
But here's the reality: when the actual numbers dropped, when the jersey sales came in, all that noise vanished, because one stat put all the debates, all the narratives, all the comparisons straight into a blender. And spoiler alert, it wasn't Angel Reese's name at the top, it was Caitlin Clark. Loud and clear. The only question is, how low was Ree? Let's break it down.
What happens when what I think is probably the far and away the most popular female athlete there is in existence right now, Caitlin Clark? What happens when her jersey sales are revealed in a very important period, by the way? September 1 through November 3rd would be some prime Christmas area. Just pointing that out.
Angel Ree is supposedly shaking the league. Then how come the world only started turning when Clark entered the room? If she's the one supposedly pulling the strings, why is everyone from diehard WNBA fans to people who've never watched a single game suddenly obsessed with Indiana's? Number 22, the answer is simple, and by the end of this video, we're going to walk through how one metric buried all the noise and showed who's really the heartbeat of this league.
Adam Silver was trying to get Caitlin Clark in the three-point shooting contest in the All-Star weekend. It was because he needed her more than she needed them. All right? That because of the popularity, what it was she could draw in. Fact is, a lot of her ratings in games last year beat a hell of a lot of regular season NBA games. That's how she moves the needle.
Now, let's get to the stat that broke the internet. Caitlin Clark, rookie sensation, led WNBA jersey sales during the league's most lucrative time of the year holiday season. That's right, with all the household names and legends still in the league, the rookie from Iowa playing in Indiana outshined them all. No Asia Wilson, no Breanna Stewart, no Sabrina Ionescu, and definitely no Angel Reese, the face on the most jerseys hanging in closets this year. Caitlin Clark. Not because she has a PR army behind her, but because she has something a lot rarer: actual star power.
What does that mean? We deserve more.
Of course,
Everybody.
I agree.
Everybody.
I agree with that.
But we gotta get face the consequences.
What?
Damn, we gotta get it up.
Y'all gotta
like
deal with
y'all.
something. Y'all gotta do something.
And we're not stopping there. How do Caitlin Clark's jersey sales stack up compared to the NBA? Are you ready for this? She didn't just dominate the WNBA, she broke into the top of the NBA's jersey sales list. Only Steph Curry outpaced her. Let that sit for a second. The only NBA player who sold more jerseys than a rookie, the WNBA player, is arguably the most popular basketball player in the world. And right behind him is Caitlin Clark. That's not hype, that's generational impact. Meanwhile, Angel Reese's jersey sales are, well, let's just say they're comfortably in the not top 10 zone.
See the top selling jerseys. Steph Curry is number one, and who's that? Tell me who this is. Caitlin Clark is number 2.
Throw strategy meetings to keep up with the demand. Ree is somewhere on Twitter saying, "We got to do something." Inspirational, sure. But let's get real. Doing something means action, and right now, only one rookie is moving the needle in every measurable way. And it's not Angel. Caitlin Clark is driving ratings, breaking records, selling tickets, and turning women's basketball into appointment viewing. So when Angel Ree says, maybe she means me too, because Caitlin already did it.
Sorry, young lady. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody would be watching the WNBA. Additionally, for you, this is all about Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is bringing the money to the game, the planes to the game, the TV viewership. The WNBA is on fire because of Caitlin Clark.
Now the jersey numbers weren't just good. They were historic. Steph Curry was first, Caitlin Clark again. A rookie from Indiana was second. You know who wasn't anywhere on the list? Angel Reese, the self-declared culture shifter who's been marketed as the face of Gen Z women's hoops, couldn't crack the top. Why? Because viral interviews and TikToks don't equal fan investment. Hype is great, but Caitlin has something stronger proof.
Clark plays for the Indiana Fever in Indiana. Now, in sports terms, Indiana is considered, quote unquote, a small market. All right, that's just a fact. It is what it is. It's not New York. It's not LA. All right, it's not even Dallas. It's not Chicago. It's not Houston. It's not a big market. All right, it's not one of these juiced up markets. Boston would be the other one. And that is Caitlin Clark.
And that's what makes this so undeniable. Clark isn't coming from a coastal media market. She's not playing in LA, not flashing lights in New York, not a social media darling out of Chicago. She's doing all this from Indiana, a state that, let's be honest, wasn't even in the league's top media markets before she got there. And now suddenly Indiana is the most talked about team in the WNBA. Coincidence? Hardly. That's the Clark effect.
This should tell everybody that wants to argue for these other players in the WNBA all they need to know.
Meanwhile, Reese's supporters keep screaming that she's a cultural icon. But let's be clear, culture without consumer engagement is just noise. If she's moving culture, where's the movement in ticket sales? Where's the bump in viewership? Where's the line around the block for Angel Reese jerseys? Because so far all we've seen is volume in quotes, not in data.
So refreshing to see some shots actually make it refreshing. Oh no, that's Angel Reese's music. Bang! You like Mustangs? Your favorite player is Lawal Dang? Oh, you said bang!
Let's stack the receipts. Jersey sales. Clark's #1 in the WNBA against NBA players #2 behind Steph Curry. Angel Reese not in the top 10 viewership. Clark's games beat NBA broadcasts marketability. Clark's already got Gatorade, Nike, State Farm, Panini, Gainbridge, Wilson, and the list goes on. She's not just in commercials. She is the commercial endorsement deals record-breaking. Meanwhile, Reese's highlight is getting a few TikTok dance collabs and hoping someone notices. It's cute, but it's not moving the economy.
How far is the gap? How far is the gap between Caitlin Clark and her popularity and anybody else in the WNBA? That gap has got to be like the Grand Canyon. That's like she's in a different area code. She's in a different state, maybe a different country. There are no other WNBA players on this list. Angel Reese is not on there. All right? She is nowhere.
So when the media tries to play the "but Angel's impact is different" card, ask them this different. How? Because we've yet to see any stat that proves it. This isn't about silencing Ree. It's about being honest. You can't rewrite history because you prefer someone's personality. Clark has the numbers, the fans, the ratings, the respect, and all Ree has is a carefully curated Instagram feed and a chip on her shoulder about not being treated the same. But here's the thing about treatment. It's not something you demand. It's something you earned.
Back to business. Slam bag work, Brittany Griner. You said you rang? Bang!
Somebody said she's got the coordination skills of a baby giraffe. I don't know what baby giraffes did to receive that kind of slander, but I won't stand for it. Bang!
The WNBA is back in little over a month. Friendly reminder, we're not watching because of one person. We're watching because of her, too.
And Caitlin Clark didn't ask to be the face of the league. She became the face of the league. She didn't beg for headlines. They came to her. She didn't complain about coverage. She gave them something they couldn't ignore, all while enduring flagrant fouls, media hostility, and veteran jealousy. She never folded. She kept balling. That's
a double record streak. Huh. Okay. I mean, that's
I mean, that's a joke. Angel, on the other hand, has spent more time trying to manufacture a rivalry than actually stepping into one. Her fans love to act like she's playing chess, while everyone else is playing checkers. But here's the truth: Clark already finished the game and took the board home, while Rhea is out here doing podcast tours, complaining about not getting enough credit. Clark is putting up real numbers and setting arenas on fire, breaking 40 records during her NCAA run and at least 62 records during her rookie season. There's no rivalry when one person is running laps around everyone else.
To look this clumsy at your job and then declare you're underpaid. Privilege! Bang! Justice for all baby giraffes out there. I will fight the good fight. Bang! There's one thing to take from these videos: never give up, because if she can do it, you can do it too.
There's one thing to take from these videos: never give up, because if she can do it, you can do it too. So the next time someone tries to pitch you the Angel Reese deserves the same treatment argument, just send them the jersey sales link. Let the data do the talking, because no matter how hard they try to spin the narrative, the scoreboard always tells the truth. And the truth is this: Caitlin Clark is the one, the only one, the reason people care, the reason arenas are full, the reason women's basketball is in its biggest moment ever. You can't fake that. You can't wish that into existence. You can't build that off TikToks and sass alone. You either have it or you don't, and Caitlin Clark, she has it all.
Since the players, if you want fans to buy your jerseys in ridiculous numbers, then hit ridiculous logo threes. Well, Andy, I will say this: if you want players to buy your jerseys, be likable and don't shit on an entire fan base. Yeah, that's a
thing. If you're dreaming about massive jersey sales, start by doing something massive like drilling logo 3S with the casual ease of Caitlin Clark. But flashy highlights aren't the only secret to success. There's another major piece of the puzzle: likability, and that's where some players miss the mark entirely. See, you can be a solid athlete, but if you're constantly beefing with fans, responding with attitude, or acting like you're owed admiration without earning it, don't be shocked when no one's lining up to wear your name across their back. Anyone remember when Angel Reese took a jab at her own supporters? Yeah, fans don't forget that kind of energy. Said
she took the X and pretty much let the fans know how she was feeling. Let's pull up the tweet right now. This is the tweet right here. Angel Reese stated, "This is my podcast. Shut the F up. You don't watch."
Caitlin, on the other hand, isn't just a phenomenon because of what she does with a basketball. Though let's be real, she's a walking highlight reel. It's how she carries herself under the spotlight with poise and without pettiness that cements her as someone people want to root for. It's not just about performance, it's about respect. Talent can make people cheer, but character, that's what builds loyalty, sells out arenas, and turns a rookie into a legend.
This is the reason the WNBA never showed the jersey sale numbers, but only put ranks. It was always Clark at 1 and a humongous, ginormous gap from Angel Reese at 2.
Ranking between Angel and Caitlin is being far too generous. This isn't a close race. It's a complete blowout. This isn't first and second place. This is first place, and somewhere way out of frame. Because if this was about jersey sales, ticket demand, or anything that actually brings money into the league, Caitlin is running laps around the competition while Angel is still tying her shoes.
Wait, where are Asia and Angel? This can't be accurate. I mean, well, what are you going to say?
And let's talk about that list: top jersey sales. Some people were genuinely shocked not to see Angel Reese's name on it, or DJ Jane Carrington, or even some of the league's established veterans. But that surprise fades real quick when you look at what Caitlin Clark is doing night after night. If you're not making waves in performance or building love with fans, you're not selling jerseys. Simple as that. Twitter followers and spicy interviews don't sell out Foot Locker when Caitlin Clark pops up at number 1 for WNBA jersey sales and then turns around and ranks number 2 in the entire NBA behind only Steph Curry. The debate should be over. The only logical question left is not why is Caitlin getting so much attention. It's why are the others not doing enough to deserve that attention? Because when the hype fades, when the cameras stop rolling, And when fans start spending their hard-earned money, that's where real impact shows up, and Caitlin Clark is that impact.
People are paying thousands of dollars ticket prices to see her. She set gate revenue records all time. She broke how many records last year? 63, I think I count.
And yet people still try to push the narrative that she's just a media creation. If she's just a headline, then why are ticket prices tripling the second she's on the schedule? Why are nosebleed seats going for premium prices at games where she's expected to play wide arenas? Go from half empty to standing room only just because her name is on the marquee. That's not marketing, that's magnetism, that's real draw. That's the kind of demand you just can't fake. That's why all the excuses you hear from others about media bias or market size just don't hold up. Caitlin Clark isn't getting this attention because of where she is. She's getting it in spite of where she is. She's proving that when you're truly great, fans will find you anywhere. Indiana isn't a media capital, but it's the center of the basketball universe right now, and there's one reason why.
She is the second highest selling NBA jersey. Not WNBA. I mean, she's first by a bazillion miles.
Still, no matter how obvious the difference is, you'll hear folks saying, but Angel Reese is popular too. Okay, but where's the proof? Where's the rush of fans crashing websites to buy her jersey? Where's the spike in attendance when she's announced as a starter? Where's the resale market that explodes the second she's on the schedule? If your entire popularity lives on social media beef and post-game clapbacks, then maybe it's time to reassess the definition of impact, because while Reese might be trending for a tweet, Caitlin Clark is trending for changing the WNBA's entire business model. While others are talking, she's doing no antics. No antics, no PR stunts, just game. She doesn't need drama to dominate. She lets her three-point bombs, laser passes, and off-ball intelligence do all the talking.
This still won't shut haters up, by the way. I mean, look, if these other players are so damn popular, buy their shit. Up the ticket prices, up the demand, make them change stadiums. Nah, y'all gonna keep running your mouths. I guess just being broke because y'all are talking on the internet.
And if by this point you're still not sold on her impact, maybe it's not about needing more evidence. Maybe it's about you finally accepting the truth you've been avoiding. Caitlin Clark didn't just walk into the league to join the conversation. She is the conversation she's not waiting for permission to shine. She's already become the light the whole sport revolves around. So the next time someone tries to claim that Caitlin and Angel are equals when it comes to influence, do us all a favor, point them toward the scoreboard, the ticket sales, the jersey rankings, the ratings. Boost the resale numbers and the overflowing arenas, because numbers don't lie, they just sit there bold as ever, reminding us who really runs this game. And spoiler alert, it's not the one picking fights online. Let us know how delusional you think Reese is in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next.